Hey there, it's Mike Langford, and this is another update for the Modern Financial Advisor, brought to you by Trulytics, the one and only comprehensive advisor transition management platform. This week, Terry Mullen and I are rocking together once again, and we have a special guest. His name is Owen Dahl, and Owen is the founder of the Dahl Consulting Group. He's also an OG, that's right, original Gladstone. Owen was the intellectual firepower that came up with the models and the algorithms that serve as the basis for the Trulytics True Performance Scorecard and the valuation. So really exciting to have him on the show, because without him, Terry wouldn't have been able to buy that intellectual property from Gladstone and create Trulytics, and you wouldn't have the show. So we wouldn't be doing this. So it's really fantastic. Owen, Terry, and I are going to have a very exciting conversation about how the COVID-19 pandemic and the very likely economic fallout from it is going to affect the transaction market for sales, right? Mergers and acquisitions and succession planning here for financial advisors and wealth management firms. We'll also talk about how is it likely to affect valuations. And of course, we'll talk about how the deal structure might change, right? So when you think about it, many people who were thinking about retiring this year, right? That succession coming down the road, maybe they're going to put those plans off. Maybe somebody who was thinking about retiring 2-3 years from now might think about accelerating that process, because we have a dual shock happening here, right? We have an economic shock, and many advisors have seen that, and you'll hear Owen talk in detail about the differences between this time and previous times. But this also comes with a health shock, right? The COVID-19 virus is particularly aggressive for people who are 60 and older, and the financial advisor population right now skews older. 40%, as you've heard us talk about on the show many times, are 60 and older. And so that new risk element is likely to affect the market. It's likely to affect people's thinking, both on the sell side and the buy side. So really interesting episode of the show. I think you're going to get a lot out of it. Please do share it with your peers, whether your colleagues at your firm or other advisors that you know. And if you're at a broker-dealer, RIA, or wirehouse, make sure that everybody in your advisor population hears about this particular episode, because I think they're going to get a lot out of it. Owen really knows his stuff. He spends a lot of time in this space. So check this episode out. Speaking of OGs, Carla McCabe, the OG who's still on the Trulytics team, is out again with another excellent blog post. And she's going at it when it comes to how to retain advisors and assets during a tumultuous time like this. So swing on over to the Trulytics website, click on Modern Financial Advisor, check out the article section, and you will see Carla's post there. She really goes into detail, and in true Carla fashion, I love the way she thinks. She just goes very methodically, and she leaves no stone unturned, and she brings just the complete thunder when it comes to her recommendations. So very valuable information for you and your team. So check that out, because listen, while we all want to bring on new advisors, we all want to help our existing advisors grow and so forth, and we talk about performance during these times, make sure you watch the leaky bucket, right? Because during a tumultuous time like this, where people get anxious, their eyes start to wander a little bit, and every little thing that used to only just slightly annoy them might really start to bug them. And other firms that they might have been looking at, like, that firm seems kind of interesting, might start to look really shiny when they're getting a little nervous, right? So make sure you read that article and put some of these plans in place to retain your advisors, and then by extension, retain the assets and the accounts that are associated with those advisors, okay? Listen, I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you do like and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, you name it, we're there. You could also swing by the Trulytics website in that Modern Financial Advisor section and listen to it there. Also, make sure you connect with us on the socials, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, the YouTubes. We're all over the place, baby. You're going to love it, okay? Until next time, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Make sure you wash your hands. Make sure you wear a mask. Wear that helmet I mentioned in last week's episode. And by the way, if you haven't listened to last week's episode on the race cars, come on. Race analogy with advisors. Awesome. You're going to love it. Okay. Just be careful listening to it in the car. You'll want to. Okay. All right. We'll talk to you next time on the Modern Financial Advisor podcast. See ya. Bye.